Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the America Guns and Freedom Podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, it's just conversation between me and my viewers. You can send me whatever questions you want to send me, suggest whatever topics you want to suggest. Doesn't have to be gun related, can be whatever. So feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. If you ask me a technical question that I can't answer, or about a product I don't have experience with, pay attention to the live chat. Someone out there will have the answers you're looking for, and they'll be more than happy to let you know. So pay attention and participate. Build a sense of community. That's one of the reasons we do this every day, is so that everybody's got a place to come for an hour or two and have conversations with like-minded individuals about common interests. So, like I said, take advantage of it. Talk amongst yourselves all you want. You don't even have to talk to me at all. If you do want to talk to me, make sure you put @the Yankee Marshal in front of your comments in the live chat if they're meant for me, or send them to me via my email at shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. It's listed right there. And if you want to get entries into the drawings, you can use the Phil Tithe link at the top of the page, the Pets and Vets Super Chat link. You can get entries into all the drawings we do, plus donate to the Pets and Vets entry. And tonight we're giving away either the Cold Steel SRCK or the Voyager. You can look them both up on Cold Steel's website and see which one you want if you win. So let me know. As always, I like to start the chat addressing people who have bought merchandise over the last 24 hours. And let's see here. We got one person. We got Stephen Dalton, and he bought him some Save the 40s merch. So he's going on the Save the 40s list. So thanks to him for purchasing some merch and helping support the channel. If you want to help support the channel, maybe buy some merch like the Waddle shirt so you don't get eaten by a werewolf, go on over to my website. It's linked in the upper corner of this video. It is TYMPpistolproject.com. Over there, there's a link to my Shopify page where you can buy merchandise that I draw by hand, all of it. So go get you some of that, or you can become a Patreon supporter, a Subscribe Star supporter, get yourself some patches like our deputy patches, etc. Or you can sign up for TYMPPP or nominate someone else for Handguns for Heroes. There's all kinds of things you can do over there, including get up to date on the giveaways we're doing right now. So go on over there, help out the channel if you are so inclined and are so able. With that being said, let's get to the questions and see what's coming in over here. Tim Fat Salami weighed in earlier today and said, is there a reality where Phil is just some accountant and all reality is a celestial coconut protected by a monkey? For super secret Dan Wesson, I'm not giving away my Dan Wesson Bruin or my Beretta from Langdon Tactical. So that's fake news right there, that part. But I don't think so. If there is, I'm not aware of it. Who would, sounds kind of silly. A giant coconut protected by a celestial monkey. That just don't make a lot of sense. There weren't monkeys at the beginning of, so I don't know if I believe in that. I don't know if that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, we live in an infinite number where there's an infinite number of worlds, an infinite number of possibilities. So maybe it exists somewhere, but I don't think so. And I think even considering that is blasphemous. Salvador Verga also chimed in earlier today and just said TYMP. Officer Tater Hater paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, there's a rumor that Sean Grayson's wife was a nurse and she had an altercation with Sonia Massey at the hospital she worked with a few days before Grayson shot her. If that's true, that's premeditated murder, possibly. We'd have to see what the jury thinks. Randall Smith, at least there was no vulgarities in there. Randall Smith also pays tithe to Phil and said, are the new blocks going to be made out of recycled Legos? I don't think they use that nice of material, do they? That would be adding to the price. There's much better Palmer pistols. Most of them can be found at no 38 Supers. No. That was Hoosier Viking, by the way. Then we got Colin Hepburn chiming in here. Colin Hepburn says, you can't appease the mob. crucified Sig over not recalling the P320. Glock does a preemptive and the mob wants to go after them. I think it was pretty brilliant on Glock's part. Yeah, I think the whole thing, Glock changing their pistols. In case people are wondering what we're talking about, the Gen Vs are coming out now to replace the Gen 5s and everything else. They're discontinuing pretty much all their guns, but a few. I don't know if it's because maybe those few aren't susceptible to the Glocks switches because the way they're built, smaller and all this other stuff, or maybe it's just because they're not legal in California. I don't know. But replacing their old models with new models, and people are like, they're bowing down to California. I'm like, seems to me like they're getting in front of them, like they're taking away their talking point. So I support what they did. I'm not going to buy a new one, but I might. I don't know. I might be in the market for one eventually, but I ain't right now. Brian Smith chimed in, and I don't know why it says pending till October 27th, but it does. The switch turns your Glock into an uncontrollable, inaccurate pistol that runs out too fast. This was evidenced by a perp who emptied his G23 in under a second, missing the arresting officer. Well, yeah, fully automatic is not good for a lot of things. It's good for suppressing fire. It's actually better to have a few people doing bursts for suppressing fire. All it does is really empty your gun really quick. Someone's firing at you full auto, just sit still for a second. It's just not the best thing. I'm not a fan myself. I'm too cheap. Costs too much money. Daniel Pennant. Wait, no. MWA first. MWA chimed in. Paid his $2 time to Phil and says, for the love of Phil, do you ever eat MREs for the fun of it? No. MREs aren't that good. So it ain't that fun. Now, when I was younger, I used to eat C rations for lunch every day. I'd take C rations for lunch because those were awesome. And my grandfather would bring them home by the carton. I loved them. And they came in a big case, and each one was in a little square box. Yeah, so loved those. My grandmother would take the cigarettes out before she let me take them to school. But other than that, they came with a little can opener to open the cans. C rations were good. Not so much MREs. But MREs don't break your ribs if you land on them when you're parachuting and stuff like that. So. Daniel Pennant chimed in and says, for the pets and the vets and to Saint Phil. He keeps spelling Phil with an F. He's doing that to irritate me. CL Thomas chimed in. Ain't seen that name in a while. Said, I once told you I'd buy your axe if you ever wanted to get rid of it. So now I need to win it. Well, if you win it, that'll be good. Now you don't got to, then you ain't got to actually pay for it if you win it. Okay. So John Heasley got his new shirts. He's ready for Halloween. All right, let me get over here, see if the super chat's over here. Cover those real quick. Pigar says, I thought Glock was still going to produce the Gen 3s. Am I wrong? I don't know. I've heard conflicting information, but I've heard that they're not going to be doing any more of anything other than the Gen Vs and a couple other models. So we'll have to wait and see because they don't want anything being produced that can be used with a Glock switch. And as far as I'm aware, Gen 3s can be made with a Glock, used with a Glock switch. Practical Bacon used a 7-month WAP chat to chime in, says, no idea what changes they are making or why. I have had no interest in buying one before, and this doesn't change anything since I know nothing about it. Well, that's the thing. Edgar Cortez said, I was not aware that Block was making design changes. Well, it's not, depends on what you mean by design. They said they're going to look exactly the same, and yet you wouldn't know the difference holding one. It's going to be internal differences. Basically, they're getting rid of the crucifix form trigger bar they got, which is what makes them susceptible to being fully automatic so easily with the little switch. So I guess they're just redesigning their trigger bar system. And hell, who knows? Maybe it'll be better because the old one sucked. The old trigger sucked. Maybe the new one will be better. Looked on the bright side. Always look on the bright side of life. Dr. Gears, I don't recognize that name, said, thinking about getting a 92 GTS because of the rebate. I like how my PX4 Storm decocker rotates the firing pin out of the way. Does the 92 GTS work similar to CZ decockers instead? I assume it would be more similar to that. I have not had any experience with them. Hold on. Let me look at, I only have one Glock that has the safety on the grip. Let me look at it real quick. So just looking at it, it's not going to be easy to tell how it works. But no, it doesn't work like the old Berettas. But whether it works like the CZ, I don't know. I'm assuming it probably would be closer to that. It won't be anything like the old ones that rotated up out of the way, which was one of the best features of them, which is why I don't like the ones with the safety and decocker on the frame. Stephen Shockley did a super sticker. I don't know what it was. Let me see if I can find it. It's a pair sticking his thumb up somebody's ass or threatening to. David Ford said Switch made Glocks uncontrollable and inaccurate. Well, that's most fully automatic rifles. I never understood how in the movies they make those perfect little lines. I could never do that. I've tried. I can't make that. I mean, you hold the gun as steady as you can, and it's like, I'm like, how do they do that? It's almost like they're using special effects and being dishonest. Mr. Furley says, as long as it's reliable, it's fine with me. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's reliable, they should be. I mean, they're not going to make it super complicated, I don't think. They're just making some changes. Like I said, maybe they'll make it better. C.L. Thomas, Clinton, Seattle, said, I'm just saying hi, both for Phil and for Super Chat, because I'm rarely here by 6 p.m. Yeah, where are you at? What do you think you're doing? What's more important than this? Your nose is still itching. People who put your personal lives ahead of our chats. I don't know. I'm going to start having talks with people about that. I don't put my personal life ahead of the chats. I mean, I wouldn't if I had one. If I had a life, I wouldn't put it in front of the chats. I don't think. You people do it all the time. I swear. But she also weighed in over here. What did she say over here? They're still talking about the axe. Always look on the bright side of life. And that gets us caught up with all the super chats, I do believe. And let's get over to the new. Oh, is that an old CR? Yeah, it's old CR 250. Let's get to the emails real quick. Let me select the share over here. Shares green, Winder, boom, boom. Here's our first email. It's from Randy Smith. He said, new project 76 El Senor 250. Yeah, it's nice. That'd be fun to work with. And that's a good little size for a bike like that. And they didn't make them so big. Like they make them so big these days. That's one of the problems I had with my new bike, or the bike I had recently. It was just so big, so tall. I have to, if I want to get on that CB or on that Honda, I have to put my left foot on the foot peg while it's still on the kickstand, or when I'm holding it upright, put it on there and swing and stand up and swing over real quick before the bike falls over, because I can't just step over it. It's too tall. Too tall. Let's see here. Next email. Share screen, Winder. John Heasley got his 2 new shirts. He got the Waddle shirt so he won't get eaten by werewolves this Halloween. And he got the We Are the Superiorly Armed Beings shirt with the Dalek. I like that design. I hated drawing it, but I like it. It was a pain in the ass to draw. Edgar Cortez says, what design changes is Glock making? As far as I know, they're just changing the trigger bar, but it might be more intense than that. For all I know. We'll have to wait and see. They've been short on details, but they've let us know that it's only interior and changes to make it not compatible with the Glock switch. So we will see soon, I guess. Supposed to know by December. That's not that far from now. We can wait that long. Us old guys, we don't mind waiting a little while. If you're young, that might seem like a long wait, but to me, that's like could be tomorrow. Frank Rodriguez says Targan has the right idea. Says me switching sides to betray the other 99 men. Yeah, me, I would too. That's why if they went after the monkey, I'd be speared from behind, stabbing people in the kidneys. Yeah, there, got your liver. Leave that gorilla alone. So they'd have to be fighting on two fronts. And then Ghost Shadow sent a picture of his 2005 Mustang with 5-liter V8 they picked up from the paint shop. And it's white like mine. Purdy. It's not the same model as mine. I had that model, not in a convertible. I don't like convertibles. I've had convertibles. I don't like them. Of course, I don't know if I'd mind a convertible nowadays. The ones that are electric. Mine was all manual. You do everything manual. The new ones where you just push a button. What I really like is like the Mazda Miata that has that RC top. I forget what it stands for, but I like it. But there was Ghost Shadow's Mustang. Doesn't that have, that has the flow through badge, it looked like. Did that have the flow through badge? I think it looked like it did. Oh, no, it doesn't. I thought it did, but it's just a reflection. I was like, I didn't think they did the flow throughs back then. Who knows? Nowadays, they usually only do the flow throughs on like the higher end ones, like the GT 350s or the what's the big one now? The Dark Horse. That's what they do now. The Dark Horse. Let me make sure we're still caught up on all the supers. We are. I think that's all the emails too. So we are ready to get over here to the live chats. Where'd it go? How far up can I go? It says, rumor has it Glock is going to use vulcanized plastic for the sights on the new models after their triggers are going to feel a less like dragging a trash can down a gravel alley. Well, I hope so. I hope they feel a little better because they are trash. Could you send one of your kids? We're talking about nailing stuff. I could go to town on some breadsticks right now. I hate losing weight. I don't want any more breadsticks. I got so full of breadsticks the other night. Ugh. I was afraid you were going to ask for another basket of breadsticks. She did come and say if we wanted to take home the last one. And he said, oh, you did. Will you be getting a Glock V? Not that I know of. I don't know of any guns I'll be getting anytime soon, but not that I know of. Will I be getting a Glock V? Mikey D chimed in with his 46-month WAP chat and said, I'm assuming since new scum banned all Glocks and Glock styles, all existing Glocks will be banned. How long till, and will they put version V on roster? I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Hail Phil, does your son see a performance difference in the Mustang from the Camaro? Yes. You'll definitely see more low-end torque. That's got a lot more low-end torque, especially now that we've got the runner control actually working, because that actually helps with the low-end torque. It chops the air up a little bit, so you get some more power. So yes, he has noted the performance difference. Now, horsepower-wise, they're almost identical. There's like a 5 horsepower difference. The Mustang he's got's producing like 5 more horsepower. That's it, because it's the 4.6 liter. But torque, it's producing like 75 pounds, 80 pounds more torque. And you really notice that down low. So it'll take off faster than the Camaro, and it'll actually go faster overall. So he's definitely liking the difference. Still ain't got the Camaro listed yet. Need to get it listed for sale. I sent you an email with my shipping info. Is that all you need? Yes, that's all I need. That was our knife winner from last night. USPS sends me notice, and it was on the email. Oh, I didn't know they send you notice. You must be part of that little club you can join. Is there a best model of 460 for hunting and for bear defense? Well, for one, you're not going to have to defend against a bear. If you got to defend against, best defense against a bear is slower, fatter friends. That's also more humane as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, if you're going to be hunting, I mean, they make them for hunting. They got big, long barrels and everything, like 14 inch or something like that on some of them, huge. That would be better for hunting, but not as good for bear defense because you're not going to be able to use it quick. But you don't have to worry about bear defense. Ain't no bear going to hurt you. It's a service called USPS Informed Delivery, and it's pretty cool. They send you a scan of all the mail and tracking on pending delivery. So that's cool. I knew I had I got the tracking numbers for the 2 guns I sent today too. So I got those. So for Edgar Cortez's gun and Dwayne White's guns, I got so I know those are shipped. I panicked and bought my 16th Glock today, a 26 Gen 5, never had one. Well, I don't know why you panicked, but it's always nice getting something new. I didn't get anything new. What about the Save the 38 Super Club? There's no such thing. Nobody wants to do that. If Beretta made an Inox in 38 Super, Yankee would buy one. No, I wouldn't. I've got Inoxes in 9mm and 40. Why would I need? Wait, do I still have one in 40? I mean, one of mine got stolen. Yes, I still have an Inox in 40. I think the reason that Glock will grandfather some models probably has to do with contract requirements. Certain things are very specific. Well, what contract requirements? I mean, all they'd have to do is replace the old guns with the new guns on replacements, because, you know, as long as they have parts available for it, they can provide them the parts they need to fix them. I don't see why they would still need to stay with the old gens. I mean, like if your police department's using Gen 3 or, you know, and they break down, they generally give you newer ones. So in fact, they were recently, not too long ago, phasing out the older ones and going to the newer ones. I think it was in Battleground or somewhere around here. There's a stink bug in here. He's right there on my cup. Or not my cup, on the can. Where are we at? I think I lost my place. Perfection improved. Yeah. How do you do that? I could keep rounds from M249 on a steel drum standing, or if prone, using bipod, keeping shots in person-sized silhouettes. What's he talking? He's talking to Welper about something. Florida's new Halo law has taken effect, which requires that the public stay 25 feet back from a police while they're questioning or arresting a subject. 25 feet ain't bad. I mean, you can still film from 25. Hell, modern cameras, 25 feet ain't nothing. 25 feet is like, you can be right there. You can see, you know, if their pants are tight enough, you can tell whether they're circumcised or not. That's pretty close. I mean, that I can understand. Saying stay 25 feet back, I can understand for the safety of the people and the police officer. No filming, that I don't understand. No, that's the violation. Billy Jack Haynes told Hannibal that he has fully recovered. However, Billy also says that someone forced him to kill his wife. I think he still has bats in his bell tower. Yeah, I don't think he's fully recovered from nothing. That guy was bipolar. I won a knife over a month ago. Any chance I'll get that? Maybe you didn't receive the email. If you sent it in, you didn't send it in. If I didn't send it, if you sent it, you didn't put knife winner in the subject, because we mailed all of them, and I've called for people 10 times since then who didn't get theirs. That's what you get for not coming in. So enough. But now if you send me an email, I've still got like 4 that never got sent. They're in the old box right here. So it's probably in this box. This is the new box over here. So send me an email, says knife winner. I've still got the lists. In fact, I could probably look up, see what it was you won. Where's knife winners? Where's the cold steel winners? Friend winners? Pet winners? Come on, I know there's cold steel winners. Let's see. Yep, Stephen Shockley. You won on August 25th, and I never got an email from you. You're not checked out. So you just send me your info. Just say knife winner. You want a tough. So yep. Just send me your info. You'll get it sent to you. Make sure knife winner is in the subject line. Boom, boom, boom. That looks like that's it for questions tonight. Let me make sure we're all caught up on the supers and the emails. Looks like we are. And we are over here too. Well, nope. We got one more coming in over here. Clinton Barella is chiming in and said, I don't see the point behind the panic buying. Are we forgetting the huge secondary market for Glocks, police trade-ins? Well, I mean, why would people panic buy anyway? I mean, what makes you think that the ones that they're making now are so much better than the ones the way they're going to make them? It might be better. I'd wait and see how good the new ones are. The old ones are going to be around for a while. It's not like they're all going to sell out through the distributors and everything immediately. So they still got a lot of inventory. I would think I would wait and see if the new ones are even better, because then you'll see a lot of people trading in their old ones for new ones. Let's see here. All right, let me make sure we're all caught up on the super chats. We are. Got all the ones coming in from the YouTubes. I got all the ones coming in from the PayPal. Let me count them, see if we got 10 entrants tonight or not. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then over here we got 6, 7, 8, 9. We're one shy of doing a giveaway, and I counted Clinton Seattle twice. Let's see. Maybe I'll just keep talking until someone else does one so that we can give a knife away tonight. Let me check again. Any emails coming in here? Let me check and see. No emails. Why does it got a confidentiality notice when Randy Smith sends me an email? I don't know what that's for. Let's see here. We're all caught up over here still. I still haven't received my bird and trout. I've been sending you lots of stuff. Why have you not made me put that in there? I've got the tracking number for your gun. Let's see. What's your favorite shooting range near Washougal? I don't go to any. I shoot in my yard, or I go right around the hill here. So none. I prefer to use my own property or the public property behind me, because I back up to National Forest, and there's some shooting areas over there. Although they did put some trees over the road to keep you from getting all the way to the shooting area. So now you got to kind of park on this side of the trees and walk over to it, which it's like 50 yards maybe. But I don't know why they blocked that. People go out there with their trucks and pull them out of the way, but then they block it again. I think it's some people that own private property out that way, and they don't want people coming down that road, so they block that road. I don't think it's the state doing it. Sent you PayPal. Hold on. Did you win last night? Yeah, you won the grips last night. Give me another knife and an axe try. Well, we'll see if you get another knife. We'll go ahead and we'll do the drawing now. We got enough people to do the drawing. So let me count all the entries. Let me get back up here to the top. Mr. Trucker. Wait, did I read the one from Christian Carlson? I think I did, didn't I? No, because Christian Carlson says, I still wish I bought that 38 Super off Gunbroker, the one that got away, double stack 38 Super for the win. Win what? Biggest moron award for buying it? 38 Super? You want to be a drug cartel guy? Are you joining a drug cartel? I mean, I don't care if you do, but all right, let me count all the entrants. Let me get them all from over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 from over there. Let me write that down so I don't forget when I go over and count these. All right, let me count these ones. And I got to double that. That generator random number. Random number. Ooh, my nose itches. Still itches. Ooh. Why's my nose itch so bad tonight? I don't know. All right, let's get started here. And the winner is Salvatore Verga. Salvatore Verga, not to be confused with Juicy Vega, who I owned a Vega. Salvatore Verga. So which one do you want? Do you want the SRK-C fixed blade, or do you want the Voyager folder? This thing's like a fucking saw. Which one do you want? Let me know. Send me an email with which one you want and your shipping information in the subject line. Put knife winner and let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And that'll be it for us tonight. Let me make sure I'm still caught up with everything. I do believe we are. At least I hope we are. I don't know what that's doing. It's just sitting here with a blank page. I don't know why it's not reloading for me. But yeah, we're all caught up over there. We read the orders and we're caught up over here. Could you engrave the knife with 38? No. No. Not happening. But I want to say thanks to everybody for coming today. I appreciate it. I'll try to think of a better shoot the shit tomorrow that actually gets interest. People started talking about it afterwards. We could have done a shoot the shit if people would have done the right time in the right place. But thanks everybody for coming. Thanks for everything you do for the channel. It's appreciated. I try to give back as much as I can, and we try to do as much as we can for pets and vets everywhere. So if you want to support the channel, please do so. Otherwise, thanks for your support you've given so far, and thanks for everybody coming and just keeping the chat rolling, etc. I appreciate it. I'll see you all again tomorrow. As always, until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.